Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another art lesson. Today, we are going to be starting a landscape project. Now, when you think of a landscape, you need to be thinking of what you see when you are outdoors. You could be thinking of flowers, grass, trees, oceans, lakes, rivers, mountaintops, blue skies, rainy skies. I want you to be brainstorming some of those things. Now, when you do a landscape is broken into three different sections. The foreground, and the foreground is what's closest to the viewer. So they're going to have a lot of details here in the foreground. Then you have the middle ground, and then the background. And a bonus feature would be like the sky. So when you are thinking about your landscape, I want you to be thinking about what's going to be in your foreground, what's going to be in your middle ground, and what's going to be in your background. The background has the least amount of detail. Things start to get really fuzzy back here because it's the furthest away from the viewer. So I'm going to flip my paper over, and I'm just going to start thinking about some of those things that I want to put in my landscape. I've had some people do like an ocean scene where they have sand and then water and then palm trees, and then they layer all of those things together to create their landscape. I've also had people do like a prairie mountain landscape where they have flowers and then like a river or stream, maybe some hills, and then some mountaintops in the background. So I just want you to think about how you are going to piece your landscape together. And you can be as creative as you want. So up here in the front of mine, I'm just going to kind of start with a little like grassy prairie area. And so I'm just going to add like some flowers down here at the bottom. And remember, these flowers are closest to the viewer. So they're going to have a lot of detail. Now I'm doing mine really, really fast. You're going to do yours much slower, taking your time, doing a nice, neat job. And if you want to do like a landscape where some of your pieces don't necessarily go together, that's fine too. That's you being creative. That's you being an artist. So maybe you have palm trees and you have mountaintops. That's totally up to you. So then I'm just going to add like some little like zigzag lines here for the grass. So it looks like the flowers are in that little prairie area. And remember, everything you draw, you are going to have to trace. So if you have little teeny tiny details, I would probably wait and then just do them with Sharpie. Okay, once I'm done with my foreground, then I'm going to start kind of working on my middle ground area. I'm going to add like a little ocean, like stream area, because I want like some water, maybe like a little like running brook. Here we go. And then I'm going to add in like some hills, some grassy hills behind it. Now remember, your details are becoming less and less because you're getting further away. Okay, maybe I'm going to move up and I'm going to go into the background and I'm going to create like some mountains back here. Maybe some of them are going to be really tall. Some of them are going to be kind of layered in together. And then I'm going to add in like the snowy, like little peaks. Okay, now I'm going to go in and add my bonus elements into the background, which would be the sky. So maybe I want to have like a sun that's like setting. So that's a bonus feature. And maybe I want to have maybe just like a couple clouds just kind of like drifting out of the scene. Okay, and maybe I'm going to have like something overlapping. And then I'm going to erase that line that goes through. So I've added my bonus elements. Now I can go in and trace all of this. So this is my landscape. It's finished. And I'm going to go in and trace it. Once you have everything traced, then you can go in with your coloring supplies and you can start coloring all of these items in. Now, I'm not going to trace all of this just because that would kind of take me a long time, and I don't want you to run out of your own time. I want you to start working on yours. So I'm going to go ahead and get out my crayons, and I'm just going to start coloring in some of these mountains. I'm going to leave the caps, like the snowy caps, white so that we can still see them. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to start coloring in maybe the sun back here, but I'm going to layer some colors together. I don't want it to just be yellow. I want to add in a couple of those warm colors. So I'm going to do some yellow, maybe a little bit of orange, and then maybe even like a teeny tiny bit of red, just to layer in those warmer colors. Add some more interest to your landscape. And then I'm going to go ahead and color in my background. I'm going to leave the clouds white. I'm just going to do this light blue first. And then maybe I'm going to take like a darker blue. And I can start layering in some of those colors together. Okay. And then, like I said, I'm going to leave my clouds white. Maybe for the hills down here, you could do like a light green first. And then you could go in with a dark green so that those two colors kind of blend together. And you can do the same thing with the ocean or your little stream. Again, you can just layer in some of those colors. So I'm going to stop there because I don't think you need to watch me color in this whole thing. You can go ahead and get started on your landscape. Think about what you want to have in your foreground, your middle ground, and your background. Your whole paper should be full, okay? You should not have a big section up here at the top where there's nothing, okay? You can see that I have filled up my entire paper with different parts of the landscape. So I'm going to stop the video there. I will also attach a little image to remind you about the foreground, the middle ground, and the background, as well as a picture of my landscape. So go ahead, be creative, think of your own landscapes and details, and I look forward to seeing them. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.